Lumajao, a voice so rare and timeless. A singer whose voice is not limited to the state of Meghalaya but go beyond the boundary of these hills. Great A artist of Akashvani. Known as Bob Dylan of the Northeast, here is Lumajao sharing his musical journey with Akashvani Shillong then and now.
Good day, Shillong. This is where the hills hum and the air remembers. 90 years ago, a voice travelled through static, crossing distance, entering homes, becoming part of everyday life. And that voice grew into a legacy. All India Radio. And as we celebrate 90 years of those airwaves, we don't just look back at a broadcaster. We remember a time when music wasn't scrolled. It was waited for. A time when one microphone could carry a dream across mountains. And in those very airwaves rose a voice from these hills, raw, real, and timeless. An artist who didn't follow trends. Well, he became a sound of his own. A troubadour of Shillong. A keeper of rock and blues in a land that now proudly calls itself India's rock capital. Often called the Bob Dylan of the Northeast, but truly a legend who stands in his own light. I'm talking about no other than Lumajao. A journey that has moved alongside radio, alongside memory, alongside generations of listeners who first discovered music through All India Radio. So, sir, it's more than an honor to have you here with us
Glad
today.
to be here.
Yes. So let's begin. When you hear 90 years of All India Radio, what is the first sound or memory that comes back to you?
Years they come, years they go. It's just magical. That's the way I feel.
Mm-hmm.
It's nothing new. It's like the sound of birds early in the morning before you get out of bed.
Mm-hmm.
So it's that kind of beauty. And that kind of beauty, I mean, like, that's a natural, setup which is meaningful, of course, which makes your day because it made mine.
All right.
Yeah, that's why. And of course, if you happen to be lucky enough, then you can hear the sound of music and then laced with a couple of good songs.
Mm-hmm.
And that comes from where? Except from the radio. So that kind of communication. So you see, we have two kind of communication. The one which is natural.
Okay.
Like I said, the sound of the bird singing, before you wake up. And then after that, then you hear the sound with a song laced.
Mm-hmm.
And that's from what? That's from the radio. So that mode, that medium, it's more meaningful.
That's lovely. You've always had a way with words, Balu.
No. I mean, like, I'm not a walking dictionary. My command of English is not that good. But at least it's what comes from me.
From inside.
So I share it with you and whatever topical that may comes on the way.
I love how you say that All India Radio is like, that air that you breathe, as much as you take in the music from nature itself. It's like something which we grow up, which we love, and which we savor. Coming back to something which you said, that All India Radio made your day. Do you remember perhaps your first time walking into All India Radio, and what did it feel like, knowing that your voice could travel beyond that room? I can assume that when you heard the radio for the very first time, you could hear voices coming out, through that small little instrument.
Yeah.
But coming inside All India Radio and sitting in a place where you're going to be heard by thousands of people. So can you walk us through that first memory of you entering this place?
I guess it must have been the year around 60s and kind of stuff like that. During that time, I wasn't into singing.
All right.
There was this gentleman from Kolapati.
Mm-hmm.
His name is Pilkin Lalu.
Okay.
He's a violinist.
Yes.
So Lumajao landed up playing a backing guitar for that gentleman. That's the first time,
Okay.
I landed up on a radio station. And one thing which made me feel good is because when I walked in, I felt welcoming, which is meaningful and in that way. Otherwise, there are lots of other places, you feel like an alien.
Correct.
But All India Radio, I never got that kind of feeling.
Mm-hmm.
It's always that welcoming feeling, kind of stuff. So it was very meaningful to me, memorable as well.
Memorable as
That's
well.
why there was this young guy playing the guitar. That's it, yeah.
You must be so gifted for someone to call you and play, especially for someone who's, well known in the music scene, like Balalu. So calling you to play the guitar for him in All India Radio must have been an honor, of course.
I really don't know. Maybe he found that my kind of playing is simple because I am not a guitar player of that caliber.
Okay.
I just enjoy holding that particular instrument and playing it. It brings me so much joy. So I'm not gifted kind of a person, but it's what the guitar gives to me. It gives me joy.
But it's true. I mean, we've seen how you perform on stage, and you play from your heart.
From my soul.
From your soul.
Yeah.
Exactly. And just a few minutes back also, when we were just talking, you say that, everything lives. What was the word you used, Malu? You live a song, right?
Yeah.
So that also exudes from the way that you play a guitar. I think people can really feel the song, even though you might say you're not really good at guitar, but I think you are very gifted in that sense.
It brings me joy. See, simple is, it brings me joy.
Yes.
When I play the guitar. And people, when they call me a singer, I am a bit embarrassed because I'm not that kind of a singer as well. But I just want to spit out the words or share, the meaning of the words that comes from my soul. So that's it.
So you started playing the guitar. So when did it evolve into you taking center stage, being, getting a soul gig in the radio?
A rock star kind
A
of
rock
stuff.
star.
Oh boy, oh boy. Boy, oh boy. Anyway, see, like we are discussing about All India Radio. I came across one gentleman, Beruel Kandia. What a man. What a man. I mean, like, soft-spoken, well-mannered. I mean, I've never come across a man like that. And he always wishes me good morning or good day, good afternoon. And he always says, why don't you come over to the radio? What a man. And then much later, I came across another gentleman named Rocklin Shadab. Then later on, I got to learn that he's a guitar player, from All India Radio. I said, boy, oh boy. But when I met him, he wasn't playing guitar, but he likes to listen. He always calls me that, come over in the evening, let's enjoy ourselves.
All right.
A couple of songs and my guitar. And he is that kind of a man. And these are the people who works for All India Radio. And these are the true people. And then that was in the old building. And then when this new building came over here, new office, I came across another beautiful woman, Kong Sweetie Ding Do. Like she always said, Balu, come to the office, come, I'll grade you. I said, oh boy, to grade Lungoja. I just had a good laugh. But she's a fine woman. So see, these are the few people, who are true to the work, who are true to the art.
Correct.
Be it musically
Yes.
or lyrically through a song. That is how welcoming and, how well settled All India Radio is. So even till date, I find that certain kind of pleasure whenever I come to All India Radio station to say hello to the staff and kind of stuff like that, and then have a cup of tea. And I've been encouraging lots and lots and lots of guys, girls. So I encourage them to go to All India Radio.
Yes.
Because that's how you reach to the people. Otherwise, you land up, like singing in your own room for the rest of your life. So the only way, there are lots of other performance areas, okay, for concerts or for bars, nightclubs and things like that. But a radio is something very meaningful. People, they hear you and they can just feel and they can just see how the person is through the song.
Through the song.
So that is more meaningful.
Yes.
It's something like, you close your eyes and you see. So that's the beauty. If they don't realize that, then I don't think the life is complete or they don't know the meaning of beauty. And that kind of beauty is what? It comes from All India Radio.
Lovely. I love how you say that All India Radio is like a family. Even people who could call you for programs, they're not just musically but lyrically gifted, and they would invite you to All India Radio, making you feel like home.
That's it. Yeah.
So it's lovely. And especially the fact that you say that, when you listen to a person singing in All India Radio, you try to visualize who that, how the person looks like. I remember when I heard your voice for the very first time in All India Radio, I think I was in college, and I heard your voice, I'm like, okay, how does this person look like? Because his voice is beautiful. And I was so happy to meet you years later, of course. But when you were talking about people visualizing somebody by hearing a voice, when did you think that perhaps this is a medium which creates a lot of impact? Because you sing in a space, but once you go outside, you recognize because of your voice, because of your songs, because of your impact. Perhaps was there a moment when you realized how powerful this medium is?
It is very powerful. It is not only just powerful, it is a necessity. See, like I remember one of the staff, All India Radio, for All India Radio. She sings so beautiful. Like like Jurimon Risau. You know, that voice of hers, it carries you through your entire day. Even when you go out, you know, anywhere, you can still see her. And I used to drop by to All India Radio just to say hello to her. You know?
Yeah.
So, you know, so it goes to show that, see, the people who are involved with All India Radio, they are not only the people who just enjoy the work that they do, but also they are into music themselves.
Right.
Okay, which is very important.
But take us back, Balu, to a time when after a recording, you'd go home and you'd know exactly where your time slot came for a program to be aired. So what was the scene like? Was it like you playing your radio just by yourself, or do you call your whole family members? And how old were you then, perhaps?
I'll tell you from the beginning. The beginning when I heard the radio, we never had a radio at home.
Okay.
So it's only through our neighbors. So we have to go to our neighbor's house and we listen to the radio. And first thing is every morning.
Okay.
So just that sound, I said, oh boy, okay, here we go.
Okay.
So these are the, the kind of sound that make my day. So we hear varieties of songs, the Khasis, the Jaintias, Garos, the English songs, but also hear the news. We get to know what is going on in our little area, Shillong, or in the entire Meghalaya, or the entire Northeast, or the entire country, or the entire world. It's only through that medium. Of course, I mean, like when we know that there's going to be a good song coming by a good singer, then we always invite everyone. From family, then friends, neighbors, whatever it is. Hey, come, let's enjoy over a nice cup of tea in the morning,
Yes.
because that's the best time.
Yes.
So once in a while, we used to listen in the afternoon as well. And in the evening also, it used to be a very, very good program. The beautiful Dulcie. Oh, what a woman.
voice.
Oh, what a voice. What a beautiful woman.
Yes.
I mean, like just for her, that announcement that she made,
Yes.
it just made the evening.
Yes.
That rhythm time. So musically, I can say that it was a very, very good choice, which caters to lots of people, which caters to everyone. As simple as that.
So a few minutes back, you did mention that you would always encourage kids,
Yeah, people
other
and
people,
friends.
to come and try and sing in All India Radio, to record themselves in All India Radio. So considering that Shillong today is like being called the rock capital of India, but before the stages or the festivals that they stand and perform in, is radio the first stage? Can we say church is the first stage?
Church.
A church, yes.
See, because we go to church right from the time we were born to be baptized. And then by the time you reach your 5th year or 6th year, then you get your confirmation, your first sacrament. And then as the years go by, then you go to school, you learn how to read and write and stuff like that. But you go to church, so that's where the sing-song comes.
Correct.
You share with the entire community, with everyone. But then that's another joy by itself, It's soulful. But then when you take that soulfulness to a radio station and you share that with the rest of the world, so that means you go beyond the church. So it's a bigger picture, nothing heavy duty.
We were hugely influenced by you, by your music through All India Radio. So obviously we were shaped, our music, the way that we liked music, what kind of music we liked was shaped by people like you who performed through the radio and on stage, of course. But at your time, do you think that All India Radio helped shape the music culture of Shillong?
To a certain extent, yes.
Okay.
I can definitely say that. It provides a platform of self-confidence. So you might perform, in a small area, but then think of the area that the airwaves carries through. It goes all over the country and it goes all around the globe. So if you perform on a stage, maybe from 4,000 to 40,000 people, but then when you perform in the studio of All India Radio, you reach it the world over. So, when you consider all these, don't you think like you are more blessed to be in All India Radio?
Very.
Isn't it?
Very.
I mean, like, especially with people they hear, and then they're just trying to, my God, that person, the way he sings, the way she sings. the way the person plays, the guitar, the violin, or whatever instrument, it means a lot.
Because I remembered when we were small, we didn't have money to buy cassettes.
Yeah.
So, and magazines were once in a while.
Yeah.
So radio was free. And therefore, what we listened through the radio was something that helped influence a lot of what we liked in terms of our preferences in what genre we performed. So coming to that, really, who was the first artist, if you can remember, that you heard through the radio or from the radio, and that it made an impact in the way that you created music?
I forgot the name. See, because later on I got to hear Toto Alang also, and then Kong Selby, and then Ba Web, when Ba Web with that orchestra.
Yes.
Jaya Orchestra, which is so nice. I mean, like, hey, in a small place like Shillong, we have an orchestra. But then, because I come from that area when I was in school, Don Bosco, I was with an orchestra as well, which consists about 12 to 14, 15 people. And also I was involved in a band, which has about 30 to 40 people, from side drum to bass drum to clashing of cymbals to trumpet to clarinet, bass flicorno, Janis,
What was your orchestra called?
Don Bosco Orchestra.
The Don Bosco Orchestra. And what did you play?
I played, you won't believe, I played the guitar for the orchestra.
Okay.
And I played a side drum and the Janis.
Okay.
And the bass flicorno for the band.
Oh, for the band?
Yeah, for the band. So there was Lumuja. I don't have a photograph with me, but then there is Lumuja. So I line up with all that kind of stuff.
How long were you in the orchestra, Balu?
I think about 3-4 years, I guess. Even with the band, I think I was there around 3-4 years. I really did enjoy. I get to learn a lot.
Yes.
Like you get to see the notes, and then that it is da 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 da. But then when I dropped out of education, that also vanished.
So was that a time also that you started forming a band?
No, I was in school. I was in Don
school.
Bosco.
Okay.
Forming a band, that was much later. Was in Maula. I was born over there, brought up over there. So there we had a 3-piece band.
Okay.
So the 3 guitars only.
All right.
Borrowed guitars, friends and stuff like that. And then I gave that name, Pathfinders.
The Pathfinders.
Yeah,
Wow.
just 3 guys, like playing jing, 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 that kind of stuff. Boy, oh boy.
And what was your first gig though with the Pathfinders?
No, it's not a gig. Those years we never know. They call them a variety show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's like a fade kind of thing?
No, not a
Completely
fade.
different.
A fade
Okay,
is
take us
even...
back, take us back.
No, it's bigger.
Okay.
A fade is much, much bigger.
Okay.
But we had in our own locality, so they have Sundays. So they have variety shows, and maybe some during holidays, then they can have on weekdays.
Okay.
And then we have in Jaya, we have in Lime Crab.
Okay.
So I used to sneak out from home to come to Jaya Dinam Hall.
Yes.
The most beautiful hall.
Acoustics is beautiful.
I mean, the acoustic. See, in Shillong, we have acoustic of Dinam Hall and the one in Laban.
Okay.
Thank God the one in Laban still exists, but the one in Jaya, they mess it up. But then the memories, they live forever. People dancing, people singing, people playing guitar, accordion, flute. It's so nice. Yeah, I mean, like music carries on till 1 o'clock, 1:30, sometimes 2 in the morning.
So people all over Shillong would come to Jaya
Yeah.
for performances.
Yeah.
So it was the hub of music, as much
Yeah.
as All India Radio was.
As much. Because over there people, they see straight, but All India Radio, people, they get to listen and they get to figure out who is that.
Yes,
Yeah.
correct. Who's that?
They have to paint,
An image.
the image of a person, whether a man or a woman, a boy or a girl,
Correct.
with that kind of voice. She must be having beautiful eyes, to imagine all that kind of stuff. So
Yes.
you paint your own picture.
Right.
Boy, oh boy.
So what was the name of the first band that you performed as a band in All India Radio?
I forgot. I really forgot as a band.
But do you remember with whom though?
I think it was not in the studio, though, I guess. I think it was a program organized by All India Radio. We had at Sosotha.
Okay.
So we had a great society,
Okay. The legendary Great Society.
which is which is really, really meaningful, which is really enjoyable.
Correct.
I mean, as performers.
I've just heard about, the legendary Great Society. And when I was in a bus I remember, where I listened to one of your songs.
Okay.
And that particular bus played, the whole album of yours.
Holy moly.
And I was very young at that time. I'm like, who are these guys? These sounded so brilliant. I mean, your compositions were really, really good. I think if people do not know this about you, Balu, which I said I'll come back to a story, people think you're just a lyricist and you're a singer and you play the guitar. And now we know you play a lot of other instruments as well. But when I was in class 11, I remembered that I was called to perform for a skit.
Okay.
And this was a different skit at that time. You were the one who wrote the skit.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
My gosh, man. Oh boy, oh boy.
So you also write plays. Can we say that?
Yeah, I try to, as much as I can, if not through recitation.
Okay. But you are very, very gifted in many ways.
I guess if we look deep down into ourselves, we are gifted in our own ways. And that's thanks to All India Radio.
Thanks,
because even over here, I remember when we had done one play called To Each His Own.
Okay, what was it all about?
It's from the famous play of Shakespeare, To Each His Own.
Okay. I thought
So,
you made one by yourself.
No.
Yeah.
So go and performed recorded over here, All India Radio.
Okay.
So in this way, see, like All India Radio gives so much space.
It gives space to everybody.
Yeah.
So coming to that space, I remembered years back when I used to talk to people who, who've listened or performed on All India Radio. They did say that even when it came to the news or even when it came to singing or writing, everything, there had to be a certain standard that they had to adhere to. So it had to be real talent. So here's a question perhaps a little off from what we were talking about All India Radio. But do you feel artists today have it easier or harder?
Easier from a point that everything is served on a platter. You just have to eat it up, and everyone they lap it up. But then, like before, I mean, like you really have to struggle.
Yes.
You don't have, a very nice instrument, well crafted, so to say. So it's very difficult. And especially nowadays, see, now when we perform at All India Radio, so we have the mic like this,
Right.
and then we just crank up with the amplifier and kind of stuff like that.
Yes.
So a small little mixer, so they do it. So that comes only with the expertise of a performer.
Right.
Of a person who sings or a person who performs
Yes.
or plays an instrument.
Yes.
But while if you go out to some other areas, a recording studio, like about, 12, 20, 24 tracks or whatever it is. So they tweak here, they tweak there, so they make it sound like, a sweet, sweet voice and so hajara one thing, which
Yes.
somehow, to me, that beauty of the gift, whether it be in writing or in performing a music instrument, is totally different.
So All India Radio, the radio rather, was a more honest form.
Honest. Totally honest. Like there's not too many of these, maybe because over here, I guess they haven't really, upgraded themselves to that level of other studios, which is okay by me.
Yeah, I feel that's still okay.
The most important thing is that, hey,
It has to be genuine as possible.
the microphone is working. So if your voice is not good, then it should be like that. But lyrically, if the lyrics are powerful, so the message gets through. So it really doesn't matter to me, like the age of all this digital business kind of stuff like that.
I'm glad it's not AI. I'm glad All India
No,
Radio
no.
is not becoming AI in any way.
For me, this
to-
AI business, I'm not bothered about it. In fact, I loathe it. I would prefer NI.
Okay, what do you call? Naturally.
Natural intelligence.
Okay.
And non-condong intelligence.
Yes.
Yeah, which is more human.
It is.
I don't want these AI business. Hey, come on, and it may feel like an like overpainted doll. Yeah.
Correct.
Now, we'll see. The beauty of a woman is when you see a woman in the morning and you hear her voice.
Yes.
But then you don't want to go to a beauty parlor and see a beautiful woman.
Correct. But it's nice what you are.
We have lots of people over there.
Yeah, they're all listening to you.
Holy
Which
moly!
is good. Yeah, you.
Hi,
You're a
guys.
celebrity in your own way.
My God, all the beauties over there with one beast. Okay, so I guess we are done.
Yeah. So I'll just have a few questions
Cool,
before we
cool.
wrap
Shoot,
up.
shoot, yeah.
So when you look at your journey, Balu, where do you see yourself in this 90-year story of All India Radio?
Well, it's a joy of life.
Okay.
and the joy of giving.
Okay.
That's the most important thing. A person who doesn't know the joy of life and who doesn't know the joy of giving, that means you are not alive 100%.
And for young musicians today who may never experience radio the way your generation did, what would you want them to hold on to?
Hold on to not your dreams, but hold on to whatever gift has been given to you and treasure it with respect. Simple.
And what perhaps do you think, what kind of a role does All India Radio have, especially for bringing out the voices from the Northeast in today's context?
What they've been doing all these years, they will have to keep on doing it the way that they do.
So one last question,
Okay.
Badu, before we wrap up this lovely conversation. If your journey all these years of music had to be captured in one song that All India Radio would play, what would it be and why?
The first song that Lumajao wrote, this was way back in 1967. And it's not written in Shillong, but it was written in the exotic lanes and by-lanes of Calcutta. It's Sea of Sorrow.
Ah, the Sea of Sorrow.
So that is the only song which, somehow I sort of, Lumajao stripped himself naked to the world.
And we shall remember you in all your glory, of course.
No glory, no glory.
You are, please, but very humble. I'm glad to have someone as humble as you. For your age and for the legacy that you've created, it is really an honor for me to be sitting across you. So thank you so much, Bharat.
Thank you, Roy.
And yes, listeners, just like that, the frequency softens, but the story stays. 90 years of All India Radio, and what a journey it has been, from crackling radios in quiet homes to voices that shaped generations. And yes, we heard this conversation. We didn't just talk about radio, we felt it, because sitting with Lumajao is like tuning into a song that never really ended. It just kept playing through time. So sir, thank you for the music, for the memories that we will always remember. Remember that this conversation will be heard on and off every time through generations across, and for reminding us that while formats might change, the soul of a song and the honesty of a voice will always find its way through the air. And to everyone listening, maybe the next time you hear a song on the radio, you won't rush past it. You'll pause just a little longer.
Kublai.
Thank you so much.
That was Warimeki Lingwa in conversation with Lumajao, great A artist of Akashvani, sharing his musical journey with Akashvani Shillong then and now. This came to you from Akashvani Shillong.